Maui. There's nothing else like it under the sun. 120 miles of coastline. Over 33 miles of white sand beaches. Some say the best in the world. Maui rose out of the ocean ages ago. In the beginning, two massive volcanoes formed. First, the majestic West Maui Mountains with rugged, deep green valleys. Over 300 inches of rainfall annually has sculpted sharp peaks, giving it that emerald look. The terrain is so wild that even today, parts of this area have never been explored. And then, mighty Haleakala, the House of the Sun, rising over 10,000 feet above sea level, the largest dormant volcano in the islands. The summit crater is so large, it's said that it could swallow the entire island of Manhattan from Wall Street to Spanish Harlem. Somewhere in time, an isthmus formed between these two volcanoes, giving Maui the nickname the Valley Isle. Combined, these two mountains form today's Maui, the second largest island in the Hawaiian chain, over 728 square miles. Looking at the shape of Maui, you might be reminded of a figure eight. Actually, Maui is the largest of a group of 4 islands that now represent Maui County. When first formed, they were one huge landmass called Maui Nui. As the great glaciers of the polar ice cap moved, the seas filled in, separating the mountain peaks to give the appearance of 4 islands: Maui, Molokai, Lanai, and Kaho'olawe. Romantic legend tells it a little differently. It seems that Maui, the demigod, one day pulled all the Hawaiian islands from the sea with his fishing hook. It was this Superman Maui who again snared the sun god La and released it only after eliciting a promise that it would slow its passage, allowing the people ample warmth and more time to fish and grow taro in their fields. The first Hawaiians came from the Marquesas and the Society Islands, or what we now call Tahiti in the Central Pacific. Paddling in their great canoes, they first arrived on the big island of Hawaii sometime in the 8th century. By 1700, the population had grown to over 300,000. And with the arrival of Captain James Cook in 1778, came diseases that proved fatal for most of the Hawaiian population. Today, the local population of Maui is about 100,000 people, mostly a mixed bag of descendants from Hawaiian, Japanese, Filipino, and Chinese cultures. Every year, more than 2 million people visit Maui, and more than half of these people are return visitors. That's because Maui is fun country. Maui is alive. It's where the action is. It's one of those something-for-everybody places that draws people from every corner of the world. And whether it's viewed by moonlight, sunlight, or starlight, Maui is stunning in its beauty. Miles of white and golden sand beaches, balmy tropical trade winds, and a diverse landscape that makes it a natural playground. Maui is one of those special places where pleasures are pursued guilt-free. There are over a dozen golf courses with some of the most spectacular views in the world. Fabulous tennis courts and health spas, great shopping with quite a few shopping malls, and over 75 art galleries. From the air, Maui presents helicopter tours of Haleakala, Hana, and the West Maui Mountains. And that's just the beginning. Activities here are endless. There's sailing, whale watching, and fishing, diving and snorkeling, parasailing and jet skiing, windsurfing, biking, hiking, horseback riding, or just plain exploring. Of course, Maui is also the perfect place for no apologies loafing. So you can see why those who know come back to Maui year after year. For the past 3 years, the readers of Condensed Traveler magazine have voted Maui the best island in the world. A few words now from the mayor of Maui, Mayor Linda Crockett-Lingle.
I was telling someone about the award this morning, and I said, you know, we've been voted the best resort island in the world. And they said, well, we know that. Well, it's something else when people from outside tell you that you're the best. And I think that's the significance of this award. I think the people of Maui feel we're the best island anywhere. But now to be voted so by readers of a travel magazine such as Condé Nast means an awful lot. It means people who read the magazine who haven't been here will have good reason to come here.
The Four Seasons Maui was voted the best tropical resort in the world. The Manele Bay Hotel on Lanai placed 4th, and the Ritz-Carlton Kapalua 5th. So let's take a little tour, give you a feel for this special island. Our first destination is in Upper West Maui. It's Kapalua, which means in Hawaiian, arms embracing the sea. Keeping with tradition, Kapalua embraces its guests with incredible beaches, beautiful resorts, picture-perfect golf, and fun-filled events. There are 2 major resort hotels. The Kapalua Bay Hotel, sitting on what some say is the best beach in America, and perhaps one of the most spectacular major resorts on Maui, the 550-room Ritz-Carlton Kapalua. The Ritz-Carlton is built into the hillside amongst the century-old cook pines and ironwoods. Guests enjoy 4 restaurants, a fitness center, an incredible 3-level swimming pool, and 10 oceanfront tennis courts. The hotel's luxurious setting is also rich in Hawaiian history and culture. There are 2 churches adjacent to the hotel, one of them established for the pineapple plantation's early residents. The rustic Honolua General Store, open since the 1930s, has been an integral part of Kapalua's community life. Kapalua is known for its excellent golf courses, and there are 3 courses to choose from: the Bay Course, the Village Course, and what most people say is the most challenging, the Plantation Course. Throughout the year, Kapalua plays host to several outstanding engagements. One of them is the annual Lincoln Mercury Kapalua International. Held each November, the LMKI draws professional golfers from all over the world. It's hard to imagine golf getting any better than this. The Kapalua Food and Wine Symposium draws thousands from around the world to enjoy a weekend of wining and dining. Famed winemakers, chefs, and journalists gather with the public to celebrate the art of fine living, fine food, and fine wine. Now, if you're looking for fun, it's no big secret that Ka'anapali is one of the most happening places in Hawaii. Some call it the Waikiki of Maui, but Ka'anapali isn't an imitation of any place else. It has its own air of distinction. With the West Maui Mountains providing a natural shield from wind and rain, Ka'anapali drinks in the sun and basks in the cool trade winds. What more can a visitor ask? And if walking is your form of exercise, well, Ka'anapali has its own sort of boardwalk. There's a sidewalk that stretches from the south end of Ka'anapali at Canoe Beach and goes all the way to Black Rock in the north. There's parking at Canoe Beach, and you can stroll along the beach or take the boardwalk. It's about a 2-mile walk in either direction. Along the way, you can stop off at several of Ka'anapali's resort hotels. In fact, you could have breakfast at one end and lunch at the other. First stop, the 815-room AAA 5-diamond rated Hyatt Regency Maui, sprawling out over 40 lush acres. The Hyatt Regency is one of the first hotels of its kind in Hawaii. This resort features a half-acre swimming pool divided by a set of waterfalls and a grotto cave. Guests can take a plunge down the 150-foot lava tube water slide. The gardens here are expertly manicured and feature a unique collection of wildlife. There's even a $2 million gallery of art that's definitely worth seeing. Next stop along the way is the attractive 720-room Maui Marriott Resort. The Marriott has all the features of a first-class fabulous resort: immaculate gardens, beautiful waterfalls, and fine shops. The large pool area includes a wading pool for the kids. The Marriott has a great selection of restaurants, so be sure and catch the Maui Marriott. After the Marriott, you pass by one of the top resort condos on Maui, the Ka'anapali Ali'i. All 264 units are spacious and beautifully furnished. The pool, lighted tennis courts, and exercise room add to the elegance of this high-class property. Just after the Ali'i, you arrive at the gorgeous 760-room Westin Maui. The focal point of this property is its aquatic playground, complete with streams, waterfalls, pools, water slides, and jacuzzis. The Westin features glamorous shopping and restaurants, and an art collection that's unsurpassed. Just after the Westin, and about halfway down the walk, is the Whalers Village Shopping Center, offering some of the best shopping on Maui. And it's here you'll find the Whale Center of the Pacific, with 2 whale museums. And best of all, both are free to the public. At the whale museums, you'll explore one of the finest selections in Hawaii of 19th century scrimshaw and whaling artifacts. You can also take an imaginary voyage through the Pacific and see the ships, the men who sailed them, the whales, and all the fabulous memorabilia of this captivating whaling era. And at the Hale Khan, the House of the Whale, interpretive exhibits trace the history of whale research in this highly educational museum. Unique exhibits include this 65-million-year-old Masana ship, believed to be the whale's earliest ancestor. Also impressive is this display of a baby whale skeleton. Continuing on our tour of Ka'anapali, let's stop at the Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, the most Hawaiian of all the resorts on Maui. They really strive to make you feel like you're in Hawaii. And every day around sunset, they have a free hula show that's open to the public. Just past Black Rock, located on Ka'anapali's North Beach, is the Royal Lahaina Resort. It's here you'll find the best Polynesian luau on Maui. At the far end of North Beach is the Embassy Suites Resort. You can't miss this pink pyramid that blends the best of condo and resort living. High atop the resort is a miniature golf course, just perfect for entertaining kids of all ages. And speaking of golf courses, Ka'anapali has some of the best courses on the island. In fact, Ka'anapali is home to 2 world-class golf courses and several national golf tournaments every year. When we come back, we'll turn back the clock more than a century. We'll visit the not-so-modern town where time stands still. Well, sort of. Contrasting with Ka'anapali's modern-day chic is the historical town of Lahaina. You won't find high-rise condos or hotels in Lahaina. What you will find is a small seaside town that has remained stubbornly and refreshingly stuck in the past. From the earliest of times, Lahaina was a playground for Hawaiian royalty. It served as the capital of the kingdom until around the mid-1840s under the rule of King Kamehameha III. For 50 of those years, the years of Lahaina's rowdy whaling era, much of the framework of Maui and Hawaii's modern history was laid. Not unlike the Barbary Coast and many other colorful seaports, Lahaina catered to what the whaling ships and their crews wanted. From food and drink to willing women, Lahaina had what any crusty sailor might need. The whalers and the missionaries were at odds most of the time. Once, mobs of angry sailors threatened the lives of Reverend Richards and his wife by rioting. The sailors even shelled his house with cannonballs, and the Reverend and his wife had to take refuge in the basement. To protect themselves, they built this fort at the Lahaina harbor, and as you can see, part of it still stands today. Many of the ali'i and missionaries, like Reverend Richards, that settled in Lahaina and much of Maui, are buried in the small cemetery located at the Waiоla Church on Waine'i Street. One of the people responsible for preserving the town's history, places like the Baldwin home and Lahaina's heritage, while the rest of us plunge headlong into the 21st century, is Jim Lucky of the Lahaina Restoration Society.
You know, the growth of Lahaina has been sort of in a couple of series, a couple of eras since we have known this little seacoast community. The first era of its life was those wild days when the whalers and the missionaries converged on these shores between 1820 and 1860. It was a wild town. It had upwards of 100 ships anchored out here in front, and there'd be 35 or 40 men on every ship, so we'd have 3,500 to 4,000 rowdy seamen in this town back in 1848. Now, 150 years later, we still have 3,500 to 4,000 rowdy people, but they're just not sailors anymore. They're our favorite visitors from the mainland and all over the world.
In 1873, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Lahaina's first missionaries, the town sheriff planted the famous banyan tree, now the largest in the state. Lahaina hasn't changed much at all, not even the stores along Front Street. Most of them were originally grog shops that catered to sailors. Then, as Lahaina settled down in the early part of the century and lost much of its sea trade, these stores were bought out by entrepreneurs who originally came here as plantation workers. They were mostly mom and pop shops that catered to the local populace. Then, when tourism began to boom, wealthy mainland entrepreneurs bought them up again, and now many of them are again grog shops. When we come back, we'll take a look at Lahaina today. Today's Lahaina is a place of contrasts. Historical sites stand beside eclectic restaurants and art galleries. With the majestic West Maui Mountains towering above the tranquil Pacific Ocean, Lahaina, it seems, is the perfect mixture of old and new. One of the most interesting things to do in Lahaina is spend a day exploring its many historical sites. A good place to begin your tour is at the Baldwin home on Front Street.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Baldwin home. Now this building, along with the building across the way, are the two oldest buildings here in Lahaina. Now the one across the way was built in 1833 by the Reverend.
With antiques and missionary memorabilia, the Baldwin home is a fascinating look back in time. Another place of interest is the Brig Carthaginian, anchored in front of the Pioneer Inn at the Lahaina Harbor. This ship is an exact replica of a 19th century square rigger that brought the first missionaries and whalers to Hawaii. The Lahaina Restoration Foundation has done a great job of restoring the old Lahaina prison and its cell block on Prison Street. It was built in the 1850s to house unruly sailors who worked in the whaling ships. More than 150 years ago, the first Hawaiian textbooks were printed here at Maui's first printing house, Halepai. Another historical site on Front Street is the Wohing Temple, built in 1912 and restored in 1984. The Wohing Temple houses a museum that documents the influence of the Chinese population on Maui. This small cookhouse next to the Wohing Temple is now a miniature theater featuring movies filmed by Thomas Edison during his trips to Hawaii in 1898. There's no charge for admission, but small donations help with the upkeep of this historical site. To get all the information you need about Lahaina's past and present, stop by the Visitor Center located in the old Lahaina Courthouse under the banyan tree. Open daily from 9 to 5, the Visitor Center offers free maps and brochures of Lahaina's many attractions. The friendly staff will load you up with all the information you need about Lahaina. Although Lahaina's roots are firmly grounded in the past, this seaside village also offers loads of modern-day fun. There are hundreds of places to shop, t-shirt and clothing boutiques, jewelry stores and knick-knack shops. Lahaina also boasts one of the largest collections of art galleries in the world. The best time to hit the art scene is on Friday night, called Friday Night is Art Night. All the galleries and most of the shops stay open late. Lahaina plays host to several events each year. The 3-day Taste of Lahaina Food Festival features Maui's premier chefs who prepare a delicious array of cuisine from around the world. Lahaina is also known for its annual Halloween festival, often called the Mardi Gras of the Pacific. People from all the islands gather in Lahaina to pay tribute to Hawaii's first ruler at the annual King Kamehameha Day parade and celebration. There's definitely not a shortage of good restaurants in Lahaina either. In fact, there are over 30 restaurants to choose from. You can get any kind of cuisine your palate desires. Don't forget, information about the Lahaina dining scene is coming up in our restaurant reviews. And in Lahaina every Wednesday and Friday at 2 p.m., you can see a free hula show at the Lahaina Center. And at the Lahaina Cannery Mall every Sunday, they have a keiki hula show. And it's also free. It's evident that Lahaina knows how to show her visitors a good time, judging from the dozens of cruise ships that anchor overnight in Lahaina waters. From giant ships like the QE2 to silent warriors of the deep. The Lahaina Harbor, once the major port of call for Pacific whalers and traders, is now the center for most of your boating activities on Maui. Many snorkel and whale watch excursions originate here. Welcome to Kihei, Wailea, and Makena. These 3 distinct areas make up the larger region known as South Maui. It's here in sun-soaked South Maui where you'll find some of the most beautiful beaches in all of Hawaii. If you're heading to South Maui from Lahaina, you might want to stop off at Ma'alaia, an unusually secluded yet very busy harbor. It's a great place to watch the seagoing life while enjoying a meal of fresh fish. Many snorkel and whale watch trips originate here because of its close proximity to Molokini and other snorkeling destinations. Mix lots of sunshine with beautiful beaches and a wide range of activities. Sprinkle in some condos and shopping, and then add on some local Hawaiian flair, and you have Kihei, one of the fastest growing areas of Maui. This coastal community starts at Sugar Beach Resort, marked by a wheel from an old sugar mill. From Sugar Beach to Kalepolepo Beach Park, conditions are just right for windsurfing. Then continue on down the lower road through Kihei, and you'll come upon the popular Kamaole Beach Parks, 3 beaches that make up a large part of Kihei's coastline. Heading south, you'll come upon the well-manicured resort development of Wailea. Secluded coves and white sand beaches border the ocean or Makai side, while over 100 holes of championship golf and tournament-quality tennis courts stretch along the mountain or Mauka side. Every year, the Wailea Tennis Club hosts the Bridges Family Celebrity Invitational, an event that benefits Whales Alive International. Celebrities and local pros gather for a weekend of friendly competition and entertainment. Wailea is home to a host of luxury hotels. The first stop on Ali'i Drive is the Renaissance Wailea Beach Resort, formerly the Stouffer Wailea Resort. Tucked away in their beautiful gardens is a great spot to eat lunch, the Maui Onion. Just past the Renaissance Resort is the first luxury hotel to be built in Wailea. Formerly known as the Maui Intercontinental, this jewel is now called the Aston Wailea Resort. And continuing down Wailea's Ali'i Drive, we come to two of South Maui's trophies, the Grand Wailea and the Four Seasons. These two beautiful resorts are so breathtaking. It's well worth taking half a day or so just to see the beauty and art that adorns these architectural marvels. The 360-room Four Seasons is an elegant and tranquil enclave of courtyards, terraces, lush gardens, waterfalls, reflecting pools, and fountains reminiscent of yesteryear. The openness of the hotel was designed to capture the island's fragrant breezes and at the same time offer romantic views of the Pacific. And speaking of architecture, let's take a look at this resort, the Kealani. Guests here enjoy luxurious resort accommodations. Those who really want to indulge can stay in private oceanfront villas, complete with their own swimming pool. Sitting on the leeward slopes of Haleakala with a spectacular view of the Pacific is Diamond Resorts. With only 72 suites spread amongst 15 acres, Diamond Resorts offers a peaceful, private environment where guests can truly relax. Whether you're looking for haute cuisine or local fare, both Kihei and Wailea are home to some of the best restaurants on the island. Many restaurants in South Maui are known for offering great food and outstanding ocean views. The next area of South Maui is Makena, where development gives way to the natural beauty of the land. The only major resort in Makena is the Maui Prince Resort, sometimes referred to as the last resort because it's the last hotel located on South Maui. It's on one of the most beautiful settings and beaches on Maui. The Prince boasts its own 36-hole golf course and tennis courts. A little further down the road, you'll come to La Perouse Bay, named after the French explorer who was the first European to anchor on Maui. Just past La Perouse, passage is pretty much only by foot. This is the Pi'ilani Trail, or King's Highway. The trail is said to have once encircled the entire island. Here you'll find the ruins of ancient Hawaiian villages. You may even find a modern Hawaiian fisherman out here casting his net in the old style. On a good day, one expert cast can often net as many as 60 edible fish. As you walk along the trail, you can see the care with which the trail was originally built, with large lava boulders holding the smaller A'a lava rocks that make up the path. By the way, this devastation we're viewing came from Haleakala's last eruption about 200 years ago. And from this devastation, primitive, majestic beauty has erupted. Some of it will actually tower over your head if you care to leave the path and explore. But be sure to have the proper footwear, tennis shoes at least. The sharp shards of lava will cut bare feet and rubber slippers to shreds.
On the water there'll be schools of fish in motion. Just above the sea, Maui melody, sun and sail harmony. On a surfboard like the old Nolly, ride a skimboard or canoe in the come along and play.
Soft white sand,
Clear, cool water.
Maui beaches are blue sand.
Maui beaches.
Soft white sand,
Soft white
Maui beaches are
sand. Muscle men and all the suns and wahinis, with their tan lines and their tie-string bikinis. One might take you to romantic sunset views or a luau barbecue. Feel Hawaiian style aloha in the family. Baby castles in the sand with their kinkies. Every girl and boy knows the fun and joy. Maui local.
soft white sand,
Land, cool water. Maui beaches, the place to be. Soft white sand,
Maui beaches are
cool, clear water.
Hi, I'm Lisa Duncan, your host for the next few minutes. We at Paradise Television know you came to Maui to enjoy the miles and miles of beautiful white sand beaches and incredible ocean. So we've created a beach segment just for you. Grab your beach gear and join me as I take you on a tour of some of Maui's most beautiful beaches. Come on! Ah, swaying palms, soft white sand, crystal clear water, and year-round sunshine. Some say Maui is blessed with the most beautiful beaches in the world, and they're all unique. Whether you're an active person, serious sun seeker, with the whole family, or that special someone, Maui has a beach for you. Yet, even beautiful beaches can be hazardous, so a few words on safety. Always approach the ocean with respect and caution. The current at some of these places can be deceptive. Heed all warning signs. There are lifeguards on duty, but only on a handful of beaches. And remember to apply sunscreen, or better yet, get someone else to do it for you. Let's begin our adventure on the upper west side of the island, near Kapalua. This is D.T. Fleming Beach, a long, wide beach that spreads its golden carpet of soft sand directly in front of the beautiful Ritz-Carlton Kapalua. Boogie boarders, body surfers, and other water sport enthusiasts are lured here by the breaking waves. I like it because it's quiet and sunny. It's also a very wide, clean beach with showers and facilities. If you get hungry, the Beach House restaurant is a great place to grab a light lunch and enjoy the scenery. A word of caution, D.T. Fleming is exquisite, but sometimes deceptive. The currents can get strong. Just be careful and you'll have a great day at D.T. Fleming Beach. Now we're here at Kapalua Bay. It's easy to understand why Condé Nast Traveler magazine chose it as the #1 beach in the world. Kapalua Bay has it all. Beautiful views, complete facilities, great snorkeling, and a calm shoreline make this a beach for the whole family. At the north end of Ka'anapali, we come to what the locals call Airport Beach. It's a great place to spend the day. Barbecues, complete facilities, and a wide grassy lawn make this a nice place for a picnic. It's also great for windsurfing, smash ball, and sailing. Continuing south, right in the hub of Ka'anapali, we come to one of my favorite places on the island. There's always something going on at Digme Beach. It's a great place to play in the surf and sand, but what I really like to do here at Digme Beach is sit back, relax, and people watch. Well, we've now covered the west side of the island. Follow me to more beautiful beaches. We'll pass Lahaina till we come to Ma'alaia Beach, also named Sugar Beach. If you like walking, then Sugar Beach is for you. This 5-mile stretch of white sand beach connects Ma'alaia to Kihei. The soft sand, which gives Sugar Beach its name, is fine enough to walk barefoot. I suggest going in the morning before the trade winds pick up. Next, we come to Kamaole Beach in Kihei. It's divided into 3 beach parks. The calm wind and water conditions, full-time lifeguards, and sunny weather make Kam Beach parks kid-friendly. All Kamaole Beach parks also offer great views of neighboring islands. Now you're looking at one of the most romantic beaches on the island, Keawakapu. Many couples come here to stroll hand in hand on this long stretch of golden sand. This is the place to enjoy incredible sunsets. I'll bet many passionate words have been whispered on this beach. Maybe I should come here more often. One word of advice, please don't trespass on private properties that line the beach. Now we're at one of the most beautiful beaches on Maui, Big Beach, known for its breathtaking scenery and incredible waves. The conditions are usually very good for boogie boarding, body surfing, and skimboarding. The long, wide stretch of sand makes it a great place to play volleyball and barbecue with friends and family. This is a beach where the current gets very strong, so heed all warnings and use common sense. Over this hill from Big Beach lies a smaller, more intimate beach. It's Little Beach, and the name tells more than you think. You see, sunbathers at Little Beach wear very little, or, well, nothing at all. If you decide to worship the sun en naturel, remember what we said at the beginning of the program. Wear sunscreen. Now let's zip over to the north side of the island and see another great beach. This is Baldwin Beach. Many people spend the day here relaxing with friends and family. There are barbecues, picnic tables, and other facilities. A full-time lifeguard's on duty, and the beach itself is simply beautiful. Now we're at one of Maui's most famous beaches. Ho'okipa Beach Park is considered a windsurfing mecca. Every year, windsurfers from every corner of the world make the pilgrimage to Maui, just so they can experience Ho'okipa's unique wind and surf conditions. The wide, grassy beach perched slightly above the ocean is the perfect place to sit and view some action and adventure. Time it right, and you may catch the professional windsurfing competitions held here during the year. On the east side of the island, just a little outside of Hana, is one of the most pristine beaches on the island, Hamoa Beach. Hamoa has a beautiful mixture of black and white sand and is surrounded by lush native vegetation. Its exquisite emerald green waters make it a haven of tranquility, ideal for relaxing all day long. This is my secret beach, where I come to get away from it all. I'm not going to tell you where it is, but that doesn't mean you can't go looking for it. We've covered the island, and I'm sure we've found a perfect beach for you. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. We'll see you at the beach.
The ocean, to the early Polynesians, was seen as a pathway to new worlds. Outrigger canoes surged through the waters, propelled by strong, bold warriors whose intent was to conquer and populate. The ocean also served as a playground to these early explorers. Hawaiians made the first surfboards from koa and wili wili trees, and it wasn't unusual for them to ride the surf naked for hours on end in joy and exhilaration. Today, outrigger canoes can be seen gliding throughout the Hawaiian waters, but now the fearless armadas have been replaced by competitive canoe teams. Outrigger canoe paddling has evolved into one of the most popular sports throughout the islands, and Maui in particular is world-renowned for its dynamic canoe scene. With 9 canoe clubs and a non-stop schedule of regattas from March through October, Maui has carved a niche for itself in the world of koa wood oars and brightly colored boats. Paddlers are a dedicated lot, and it's not unusual for them to rearrange work schedules and family life just to make those early morning or evening practices. At the crack of dawn or just as the sun sets, these athletes can be seen grasping the smooth handles of their koa wood paddles with the same focus and dedication of the early Hawaiians, in sync with each other, themselves, and the ocean that surrounds them. Like outrigger canoeing, the tradition of surfing is still alive. But today, surfers carve through the waves with lightweight fiberglass boards, custom made for their abilities, body sizes, and various wave sizes. Maui boasts some of the best surf spots in the world. Places like Ma'alaia Harbor, Honolulu Bay, and La Perouse Bay. Here on Maui, surfing is viewed not only as a sport, but as an industry, a lifestyle, and to some, even a religion. Surfers rise with the sun and greet the water with respect, devotion, and patience. Sometimes surfers must wait, and wait, and wait for the coming of the swell. But when it hits, most surfers agree all the waiting was worth it. They say to ride a wave is one of the best feelings in the world, a mixture of unbridled joy, exhilaration, and peacefulness. Surely something to which the early Hawaiians could also attest. Sunrise at Haleakala, one of the most breathtaking experiences on the face of the earth. Mark Twain wrote of this experience more than 100 years ago.
With the first pallor of dawn, we arose and saw things that were new to us. Mounted on a commanding pinnacle, we watched nature work her silent wonders. I felt as if I were the last man on earth, neglected of the judgment and left pinnacled in mid-heaven, a forgotten relic of a vanished world.
Here on the slopes of Haleakala, the awesome and silent beauty of nature overwhelmed the senses and the spirit. For indeed, here you almost feel in touch with eternity, so isolated, so ruggedly beautiful, so desolate, and yet so alive. Indeed, it's that very isolation that has brought about some of the most unusual life forms in the world. A unique biology that's distinctly Hawaiian. The most famous biological resident of the park is the rare silver sword, or ahina-hina. Its silvery leaves reflect the burning sunlight while gathering in what little moisture the harsh surroundings may offer. With a lifespan of 30 years, the silver sword blooms only once, then surrenders herself to the mountain from which she came. Once on the verge of extinction, the nene, Hawaii's state bird, may also be seen on the slopes of Haleakala from time to time. Another thing to guard for before you journey up these lava slopes is the cold. In the wintertime, the temperature can dip below freezing, and even on the best days, if you're not dressed properly, you could find your teeth chattering. It's also not uncommon to be rained upon, then baked in the sun, then rained on again, all in a matter of just a few hours. So be sure to dress accordingly. Sunrise at Haleakala is indeed an unforgettable event, but not without some hardship. So before you start out, call this number to make sure the weather will be clear and find out what time the sun rises. And if you're staying in the Lahaina Ka'anapali area, plan on a 2 to 3 hour drive to get to the summit. And that means getting up real early. From Lahaina, take Highway 30 to 380, then right on Highway 36. This is the Hana Highway. Then another right on 37 and on up until you get to 377, then just follow the signs to the summit. From the Wailea Kihei area, take the Pi'ilani Highway 31 to 350, then on to 37 and 377. Your travel time to the summit should be about 2 hours. From the snow-capped peaks beckoning from the Big Island to the arid moonscape below, there's a lot to see and explore on Haleakala. For the more athletic, permits are available at park headquarters daily for hiking and camping within the crater. There are more than 30 miles of trails, plus a multitude of volcanic bombs, caves, cinder cones, and lava tubes to explore. One word of caution for you would-be sportsmen. At 10,000 feet, the air is very thin, so take your time. Don't overexert yourself. This is especially true for those with high blood pressure or heart conditions. Haleakala, the house of the sun, the landscape of the moon, and the home of the gods. About as close to heaven as most of us will ever be. In this lifetime, anyway. A little over 100 years ago, a discovery was made on Maui that has profoundly influenced the culinarily astute ever since. The discovery was that the upcountry Kula area on the slopes of Haleakala was the perfect place to grow the sweetest onions in the world. Kula is Maui's primary agricultural district, with an abundance of fruits and vegetables, avocados and flowers of all shapes, sizes, and descriptions. Protea Farms can ship this unusual flower back to Aunt Mabel for you, or you can explore botanical gardens. Kula's a great place to have fun just exploring by car. Take any one of these side streets. Your curiosity will undoubtedly be rewarded. If you like to camp or hike, call this number for permit information for Poli Poli Springs. It's not real easy to find, but once at the springs, you can explore a number of richly rewarding trails with redwood forests, cedars and pine forests, and even a cave that some use for shelter instead of a tent. But if sleeping outdoors isn't your bag, you can also call this number and ask about reserving the cabin here. It's not very costly, but it is very popular, so don't be surprised if it's booked. The upcountry is cowboy country, and where there's cowboys, there's bound to be a cowboy town, and Makawao is it. Makawao is a little cowboy town that's being pulled in many different directions. Basically and historically, like we said, it is a cowboy town, Paniolo country, with hitching posts for your horse and a country saloon to wet your whistle. The Makawao Rodeo on the 4th of July draws some of the biggest cowboy stars in the country. It's a big event in these parts and exciting. And in a sense, the rodeo symbolizes what Makawao is really all about. Not really cowboys, not really. It's about individualism and the triumph of the individual spirit. You won't find any chain stores in Makawao, but what you will find is unique. New agers, yuppies, aging hippies, cowboys and artists, and country. Makawao is an unlikely gathering of individuals, brought together, ironically, by their fierce independence and their love for what some might call a one-horse town. And while you're visiting the upcountry or returning from the top of Haleakala, be sure and stop by the Ulupalakua Ranch. To get there, just continue along Highway 37, and when you get to the fork in the road, just keep to the right and then keep on going. You won't miss it because you'll be greeted by these cowboys in front of the general store. This vast 25,000-acre, 140-year-old rangeland is owned and operated by Pardee Erdman and his son Sumner. The ranch raises 5,000 head of cattle. And one of the highlights is the annual sheep shearing. It's even open to the public. In 1988, the ranch imported about 40 elk for breeding purposes. Today, the herd's already over 100. The reason Ulupalakua is so successful in this endeavor is because the climate upcountry is a healthy climate, perfect for this type of operation. The highlight of the ranch is the Tedeschi Winery. The ranch grows 20 acres of carnelian grapes, and from these grapes produces 4 different kinds of wines and champagnes. They even make a special wine from pineapple. So don't forget to take a tour of the Tedeschi Winery and stop by the wine tasting room. Believe me, tasting their pineapple wine is well worth the trip to Ulupalakua. When we come back, we'll explore more of Maui, Island of the Sun. If you like to drive, it's now possible to go around Maui this way, from West Maui to Old Wailuku Town and on to Kahului. The ocean landscapes are outstanding. And along the way, you'll encounter these strange stackings of stones. The locals call this place Hobbitland. You'll find people spending a relaxing day picnicking, hiking, and fishing. It's a beautiful rustic area of rolling hills and rugged coastline. Just past Hobbitland, you'll come to the quiet little fishing village of Kahakaloa. It's here the road gets very narrow, and in some spots, it's just one lane. While driving around the curves, take it slow in case of falling rocks on the road. The road then winds through more breathtaking seascapes, and soon you'll come to the town of Wailuku. This is where the county government makes its home, and it's as close to a city as Maui will ever have. Wailuku doesn't really cater to tourists. Well, that's not to say it's unfriendly, quite the contrary. But unlike many other areas, Wailuku doesn't put on airs and doesn't pander to tourists, or anyone else for that matter. But that's part of the charm. Wailuku is honest, down home, definitely local, and more than a little funky. This is Iao Valley Road. We're now traveling into the oldest part of Maui, the West Maui Mountains, carved over 1 million years ago. This is also one of the most sacred and historically significant areas on the island. In ancient times, the bones of Maui's ali'i, or royalty, believed to hold great power or mana, were buried in secret caves here that to this day remain undiscovered and undisturbed. King Kamehameha the Great left many bones here as well, but not those of the ali'i. Rather, they were the bones of Maui's warriors fighting desperately to save the ali'i and their island from Kamehameha's rule. But King Kamehameha was never one to take chances, and with the help of 2 European cannons, he slaughtered the ill-equipped warriors. In fact, according to legend, the waters of Iao Stream were dammed with the bodies of the dead, and the water ran red with their blood, bringing the news of their loss in a grisly manner to the bereaved relatives in Wailuku. Kepaniwai means the damming of the waters, and Kepaniwai Park on the road to the valley though named for such a barbaric act, now stands as a monument to the harmony of Hawaii's many cultures. Typical dwellings from European, Hawaiian, Japanese, Chinese, and Filipino cultures are displayed here in honor of the diverse blend that makes Hawaii the unique place it is today. Iao Valley State Park is our next destination, with the beautiful and imposing Iao Needle as its majestic centerpiece. Iao is a multifaceted Hawaiian word that's difficult to translate, but the dawning of enlightenment comes close. There's an eerie sense here, the ghosts of long-buried ali'i still guarding the secrets of the valley. From here, there are many trails for the footloose and fancy-free. One of them leads to the top of the ridge or tableland and overlooks the ancient caldera that forms the valley. Another trail follows Iao Stream to some beautiful and secluded swimming spots. But remember, as did the ancients, hikers must tread with respect for the guardian spirits of the waters. Flash floods aren't uncommon, and even on the nicest day, wet rocks are slippery, so be careful. As you continue down from Iao Valley, pass on through the town of Wailuku by way of Main Street. This leads to the industrial town of Kahului. Kahului is home to our international airport, many restaurants, and Kahului also boasts Maui's largest shopping center, the Ka'ahumanu Center. Recently renovated, the Ka'ahumanu Center has over 90 stores and a food court that offers an array of dining experiences, from local specialties to international cuisine. Next, we'll take you on the famous road to Hana. Probably one of the main events of exploring Maui is taking a drive to Hana. It's an all-day affair, so start early. The best plan is to tie it in with your trip to Haleakala and then just continue on to Hana. The Hana Highway is an incredible 52-mile journey, often called the Highway to Heaven. With more than 30 one-lane bridges, 600 curves, sculptured cliffs, crashing surf, caves, jungle, taro, and myriads of magnificent waterfalls. The starting point is actually Paia. This pleasant little town has undergone a bit of a renaissance since the 1960s, when it was kind of a hippie haven. And it's your last chance for gas. And you may consider filling up with groceries and water as well. Just outside of Paia is Ho'okipa Beach Park. This is where some of the world's greatest windsurfing championships are held. It's great fun to watch for a few minutes, but don't get hung up here because your trip to Hana is gonna take just about all day. At Hana Highway and Highway 40 is where your trip begins to get really interesting, as the writhing, narrow road takes on its true personality, and new sights, sounds, tastes, and smells are just around every corner. Civilization quickly becomes a thing of the past, and wild enchantment takes over. Soon, you'll enter one of Hawaii's true rainforests. All along the way, especially if it's raining, you'll find dozens of waterfalls like this one you can see from your car. And many places you can stop your car if you're careful. And there are great photo opportunities, so be sure and take plenty of film with you. This is one of the engineering marvels of the 20th century and a lasting tribute to the turn-of-the-century Asian labor. More than 50 miles of these man-made waterways honeycomb this side of Haleakala, and they're used to carry water to the drier parts of the island. To build a system like this today would cost a whole lot of money. Half a mile past the 9-mile marker is a trail that's as rewarding as it is accessible. It's called the Waikamoi Ridge Trail. Go through a turnstile and take a stroll into the Maui rainforest. A couple of overlooks into the valley below will give you a pretty good idea of the Hawaii our ancestors knew. One of your best photo opportunities is coming up, the Kenai Peninsula. Legend has it, this was the first place on Maui blessed with fresh water. And to this day, the simple lifestyle of the taro farmers that reside here depend on that fresh water to irrigate their fields. The rocky coastline provides an awe-inspiring counterpoint to the peaceful, laid-back lifestyle going on just a few feet away. There are few places in all the islands that so beautifully speak to our ancient heritage and Polynesian charm as Kenai. Want a picnic with a view? Well, stop at the Wailua Overlook. And if you love cascading water, from here on to Hana, it falls in just about every conceivable way, from delightful terraced showers to bridal veils, forked falls, and long and skinny plunges. And of course, even just plain waterfalls. Just before you get to Hana is Wainapanapa State Park. Here you'll find a black sand beach and several water-filled caves that are really worth seeing, as well as ancient burial sites rich in Hawaiian legend. The drive to Hana should take about 3 hours, counting some time out to see the sights. When you get to Hana, you'll probably wonder if you're really there. Actually, it's a quaint little town, but there's not much to see unless you really appreciate tranquility. There's more Maui Island of the Sun. Leaving Hana, we continue around the backside of Haleakala's Kipahulu district and head towards Oheo Gulch. There you'll find the famous pools of Oheo. Someone once misnamed the pools of Oheo the 7 sacred pools. But the fact is, they're not really sacred, and there are far more than 7 of them. There are actually 24. To get to the entrance of Oheo Gulch, cross the bridge over Palakia Stream and go about a quarter mile till you come to the parking lot. Then you can hike up. The pools along Ohio Stream are as picturesque as anything Hawaii has to offer, and many of them are great for swimming. You can hike down towards the ocean or up towards the mountains. The pools abound in either direction. There are plenty of places to swim here, but be careful while doing so. A short hike upstream will take you to the Makahiku Falls. And about a mile or so beyond that, there's another even more spectacular display known as Waimoku Falls. Just below the parking lot is the most beautiful and popular place to camp on the entire island because it sits right on the ocean. There are plenty of outdoor grills for cooking, but you'll need to bring your own water. Camping in the park is free and no permits are required. Oheo means something special. And in any language, we're sure you'll agree that it is. Just a few miles down the road in the middle of a jungle, you'll come to the turnoff to the Kipahulu Church. This is the final resting place of Charles A. Lindbergh, the famous aviator. He first came to Hana in the 1950s and fell in love with the place and the people. In 1970, he came back to die. And today, his gravesite remains on a high cliff overlooking the endless Pacific. Lindbergh once said, "I'd rather live one day on Maui than a month in New York." If you come here to pay your respects, please do so quietly. And please, leave everything just as you found it. Back on the road again, you may wonder which way to turn. The way you came? Or if you're real adventuresome, you may want to continue in the direction you were going. Yeah, you can get back that way unless it's raining real hard or storming or the road is closed. Now, if you take your time, the views are especially worth seeing, especially along the narrow road winding through the ocean cliffsides. The car rental companies don't like their cars going this way, so if you get broken down halfway between here and there, you're probably on your own. However, if risk is in your blood, you'll definitely find the drive interesting and a lot less crowded.
Let's get wet!
In the next few minutes, our Let's Get Wet program will show you how to get to some of the best locations for snorkeling and scuba diving, and what to look for once you're there. If you've never been snorkeling, it's best to check with a local dive shop or activity company and book a guided tour with instruction. Even if you're an experienced snorkeler, a good dive shop is always up on the latest local weather and wind and tide information. Snorkeling is easy for most people because everyone is naturally buoyant in the ocean, and it's not necessary to dive to see the beauty that's just beneath the surface of the water. But if you'd like to explore the underwater terrain close up, you can arrange an introductory dive with an instructor. After you discover the excitement of breathing underwater, many dive shops offer an open water certification course that can be completed in just 4 days. Starting on the southeast corner of the island, there are many good snorkel and dive locations along the McKenna coastline, for beginners to advanced divers. McKenna Landing is located a quarter-mile past Polo Beach on Old McKenna Road. There's easy water access from the parking lot, plus convenient restroom and shower facilities. An abundance of fish and marine life can be seen just below the surface to depths of 45 feet. There are scenic coves along the coastline that are more easily accessible by boat. Captain Ray from Maui Dive Shop shows us why.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. This area is known as McKenna Landing and also Turtle Town because of all the green sea turtles that we have here. The visibility here tends to be real good. You guys will see plenty of marine life, okay? And I think we're ready to go in the water.
Right in the heart of Wailea, Ulua Beach offers a great dive with easy beach access between the Renaissance Wailea Beach Resort and Aston Wailea Resort. Keep the reef on your right, and you can snorkel all the way to Makapu Beach in the front of the Renaissance Wailea Beach Resort. The water is usually calm, and spectacular sights can be seen just under the surface to depths of about 40 feet. Perfect for snorkelers and introductory scuba divers. 4 miles off the Kihei coast is the small volcanic island of Molokini. Molokini is one of the most popular snorkel and dive destinations in Hawaii. Most of the large charter boats to Molokini leave from Ma'alaya Harbor and take about 45 minutes to an hour to get there. But if you want to get to Molokini fast and avoid the crowds, you can take a 15-minute small boat charter leaving from the Kihei boat ramp. Molokini Crater is a bird sanctuary above the water and a marine sanctuary below, with quite a variety of colorful fish and sea life. The backside of Molokini is a spectacular wall dive, rated #1 in the United States.
This is why we all came out here. #1 rated wall dive in the U.S., and we're going to go do it this morning. Nice day for it. Real blue water. We're going to see lots of things. Lots of different kinds of butterfly fish, lots of different kinds of sturgeon fish, trigger fish. You will see some sharks and plenty of eels and some good stuff along there.
Oluwalu is another easy access snorkel spot just off the highway between Kihei and Lahaina. Look for the mile marker 14 and park along the long stretch of beach. Oluwalu has a shallow reef extending several hundred yards offshore, and it's great for taking underwater photographs. 8 miles past Ka'anapali on the western tip of Maui, you'll find the majestic cliffs of Honolulu Bay. Great snorkeling and diving can be found in these depths of 10 to 40 feet. Diving is best at Honolulu Bay during the summertime. A custom trip to the private island of Lanai is a reward you won't want to miss.
Welcome to Lanai. This is First Cathedral's outside of Manili Bay, one of the most popular and requested dive sites out here at Lanai. Also, the best thing about this bay, this is where we see the spinner dolphins.
Snorkeling and diving are both incredible. With over 25 dive sites to choose from, Lanai offers more variety than anywhere else in the world. Dolphins, manta rays, octopus, and millions of fish abound. Lanai is the premier dive destination in Hawaii and a must-see for water enthusiasts. These are just a few of the spectacular dive sites around Maui. Talk to a local dive shop about these and other locations, weather conditions, and of course, water safety. From nature's intricate sculptures to the gracefulness and curiosity of the brightly colored fish, the beauty of Maui awaits you under the sea. So,
let's get wet!
many people can say they return to the islands every year, and no one can say they've been doing it for centuries. Only the humpback whales can claim this distinction. Like many of us, the mighty humpbacks come to Hawaii to play and frolic in the warm Hawaiian waters. And watching them has become one of Maui's most popular activities. And why not? These magnificent creatures are nearly as big as a house. Yet they move, breach, and swim so gracefully as to be the awesome prima ballerinas in the Blue Pacific's eternal ballet. These mammoth creatures have been studied in their ocean habitat since 1975. Individual whales are identified by their distinctive fluke markings. And it wasn't until too long ago that we finally figured out which were boys and which were girls. Humpbacks are the world's 5th largest whale. And of course, they're air-breathing mammals, not fish. Adult humpback whales can stay under the water for as long as 15 minutes. Each humpback weighs about 2,000 pounds per foot, and their lungs are about as big as a Volkswagen. While most humpbacks are under 50 feet long, they've been known to reach over 85 feet. Another peculiar behavior for which humpbacks are famous is their singing. Only the males engage in this musical pursuit, but their songs have been heard underwater for miles. No one really knows why the humpbacks return to Maui waters every year, but one theory holds that since their calves are born virtually without blubber to shield them against the cold Arctic waters of their homeland, the migration might be necessary for their survival. There are many whale-watching tours available during the season, which lasts from December through April. Most leave from Lahaina, which, in an odd twist of fate, has gone from being the whale-killing to the whale-watching capital of the Pacific.
One of the best-kept secrets in Lahaina is our exhibit aboard the brig Carthagena. And if you're really interested in the humpback whales and in Lahaina's history and how it ties in with those whalers who came here in great numbers in the 19th century, don't miss a visit aboard the brig. Aboard this ship, you'll find many artifacts. These have been donated to us by people like Al Giddings and Roger Payne and the National Geographic Society, all for the enjoyment and the education of our residents and visitors who come aboard the Carthagena. It's another experience of Lahaina that you will take home with you and cherish forever. Hi,
I'm Jim Cardis. Over the past 5 years, I've been hosting the restaurant review program on Maui's Visitor Channel 7. In this time, my wife Nancy and I have seen Maui develop into a dining destination. We've dined at virtually every restaurant on the island, some of them dozens of times. In the next few minutes, I'm going to take you to some of our favorites. But first, I'd like to give you some background on Maui's dining scene. While you're relaxing around the pool, lying in the sun at the beach, playing a round of golf, or spending the day sightseeing, there's an army of thousands preparing for your arrival. Approximately 100,000 meals are served daily in about 150 restaurants. Some of these restaurants are headed by talented chefs who hail from all over the world. Many of them have artfully combined their European, Mediterranean, and Asian cooking techniques with distinctly local flavors. This culinary fusion has resulted in an innovative style often referred to as Hawaii regional cuisine or Pacific Rim cuisine. It's the bounty of Maui's natural resources that draws world-class chefs to its shores. Maui has what every chef dreams about, the freshest ingredients possible. Almost all of our vegetables are grown up country and delivered fresh to the restaurants. And talk about fresh. Fish caught like we see here is then delivered the same day directly to the restaurants. I can vouch I have been in many restaurant kitchens and have seen fish delivered the same day it is caught. I'm telling you this because I feel so strongly there's a world of difference from fresh fish served on Maui and what you can get back on the mainland. Most of the fish served on the mainland may take weeks to reach restaurants, not on Maui. This scene will give you an idea of the variety of fish that are most represented by restaurants on Maui. It was possible to produce this through the courtesy and help of Mama's Fish House. Probably one you have heard a lot about is mahi-mahi. It's a very popular game fish that puts on a very spectacular jumping display when caught. It is generally yellow in color. The meat is moist and flaky with a mild flavor. The yellow-spotted papapapio is one of the most tender and delicious of the jack family. Because they are hard to catch, you don't see them that often on restaurant menus. If you do, it's a treat to be tried. My all-time favorite is the opakapaka, or pink snapper. That's because the meat is highly prized for its delicacy and very mild in flavor. This fish is very difficult to catch, so when you see it on the menu, don't hesitate. Lehi, or large pink snapper, is very popular with Hawaiians. Sometimes caught at 600 feet, the meat cooks up white and flavorful. Like opakapaka, the meat is very delicate, flaky, and melts in your mouth. Another of the snapper family is the onaga. When caught, striking crimson in color with long, graceful streamers from fins and tail. The onaga produces very light pink fillets that cook to white with delicate softness. The ono, also known as wahoo. Ono means good to eat. The meat is firm and mildly sweet. This is one of my favorites for fish sandwiches. And of course, the yellowfin tuna, known as ahi. The rich, deep red fillets are most versatile and mostly served raw as sashimi. Look at this. What a delicacy. When cooked, ahi turns white. It is delicious broiled, sautéed, or baked. When I have ahi as a main course, I ordered seared on the outside and raw on the inside. Again, our thanks to Mama's Fish House for helping present the fish of Hawaii. Maui offers a culinary cornucopia of dining establishments, many of them written up in leading fine dining magazines. There are landmark restaurants with island-style ambiance, exclusive boutique-type cafes and bistros showcasing well-known chefs, world-class restaurants housed in luxurious resorts, and everything else in between. Given this kind of selection, you can easily enjoy a delectable feast at a different place every night. So let's take a look at some of my favorite restaurants. I guarantee they'll be your favorites in no time at all. First, let's start with landmark restaurants, places with a special island ambiance and a reputation for serving delicious food. The oldest and most established restaurant on Maui is Mama's Fish House, a quintessential island eatery. Mama's is surrounded by a coconut grove and fronted with a beautiful ocean view. I guarantee you'll find some of the freshest, most mouth-watering fish at Mama's. Another restaurant you may have heard about is Kimo's. This is the place to find delicious cheeseburgers and fish sandwiches on Maui. I come here several times a week for lunch and sit outside to enjoy the delicious food and ocean view. Kimo's is one of those spots you don't want to miss. Some restaurants are known for the chefs who own them as well as their excellent food. One of these restaurants is David Paul's in Lahaina, owned by the talented David Paul Johnson. David is known for his new American cuisine, classic dishes with a twist. Condé Nast Traveler magazine has given David Paul's a 3-star rating for the past 3 years, the best you can get. If you go for dinner, don't be surprised if David stops by your table for a chat. Another popular chef is Mark Allman of Avalon Restaurant. Over the past 8 years, Mark has earned a name for himself as one of the Pacific's most innovative chefs. Just to give you an idea of his creativity, Mark's signature dish is the tiki salad, a salmon dish that's layered with mashed potatoes, mango salsa, and kula greens. Hawaii chef Roy Yamaguchi has become a pivotal figure in the creation of true contemporary Hawaii regional cuisine. With his 2 restaurants on Maui, Roy's and Nicolina's, Roy consistently pleases guests with flavorful entrees and decadent desserts. When you dine at a Pacific cafe, it suddenly becomes apparent why Chef John Murray Jocelyn has won a multitude of culinary awards. Every bite of food is a celebration of bold flavors, fresh produce, and a unique combination of ingredients. This is Hawaii regional cuisine at its best. And if you like fresh fish and great views, then you'll like the Hula Grill. Chef Peter Merriman offers 8 types of fish every night with several different preparations. The oceanfront setting and island-style ambience make it a great place for both lunch and dinner. This is one restaurant that's sure to become a Maui landmark. The world-class resorts on Maui not only offer luxurious accommodations, but also some of the best restaurants on the island. Top Japanese restaurants on Maui are located in Waialea's Diamond Resort. Satoru's beautiful setting resembles the inside of a church and features cuisine that's just as heavenly. This is where you'll find delicious, authentic kaiseki dinners. Le Gunji restaurant features a unique and delicious combination of French and Japanese cuisine. The 9-course meal they serve is incredible and something everyone should try at least once. Chef George Mavro Thalassites heads up the Seasons restaurant at the Four Seasons Resort in Wailea. This is dining at its finest with contemporary American cuisine, a romantic setting overlooking the sea, and dancing under the stars. The Kealani restaurant at the Kealani Resort in Wailea offers exceptional cuisine in a dramatic setting. The menu features Hawaii regional cuisine with a European influence. The view from the outdoor terrace overlooks the pools and the ocean beyond. There are several other hot spots on Maui for dining and entertainment. And remember, if you come to Maui, tune in to Visitor Channel 7 for more detailed information. Now I'd like to tell you more about the activities that are available on Maui. Maui is a golfer's paradise with 261 holes of golf on 15 of the most beautiful courses in the world. Of the 5 major golf destinations in Maui, 2 of these, Wailea and Kapalua, are the largest in Hawaii, each with 54 holes. Aside from the challenging courses, one reason golf is so enjoyable on Maui is because of the views. Look to the east and you see the mountains. To the west, the ocean. Golf just doesn't get much better than this. This island you see now is Molokini Crater and is considered one of the top 5 attractions in Hawaii. Skin Diver magazine has rated it as one of the top 10 dive spots in the United States. We estimate about 2,000 people visit Molokini each day. This 10,000-year-old dormant volcano is an ideal place for snorkeling. The crescent shape keeps out the wind, which makes for calm water, so it's like snorkeling in a giant fishbowl. I think it's like a seagate to the underwater world that surrounds Maui. And if you've never snorkeled before, this is the place to start. Molokini is teeming with thousands of bright tropical fish. There are several Molokini excursion companies on Maui, but I'd like to recommend 3 trips in particular. Once you step foot on the Prince Kohio, you immediately feel like royalty. This 92-foot luxurious cruise vessel spares nothing as it whisks you away to Molokini. Before you know, you'll be surrounded by Molokini's unique marine life. On the return trip, the party begins. There's entertainment, and if you feel the need to dance, you're urged to get down and shake a leg. If you want a trip with a lot of options and features to choose from, then I suggest you look to the Pride of Maui. It truly offers something for everyone. The Pride's superior speed allows you to visit 2 dive spots in one trip, Molokini and Turtletown, so you'll get a great value for your snorkeling dollar. And one of the most seasoned crews on Maui invites you to the ultimate Molokini experience aboard the spacious 65-foot Power Cat, the Makakai, operated by Ocean Activities Center. An exciting part of the trip is throwing the fishing lines out. We watched as a fellow passenger reeled in an ono. Another highlight is the fun and informative creature feature. A trip to Molokini is just one adventure available to you. How about a trip to a private island? The top day trip to Lanai is aboard Trilogy. First, you sail the channel to Lanai's Hulupoi Marine Bay Preserve for some of the best snorkeling around. The crew prepares a delicious lunch, then it's time for an afternoon sail. I can guarantee you'll have a lot of fun. And if you really want to explore all of Maui, one of the best ways is by air. I recommend Sunshine and Blue Hawaiian helicopters, both of which have the biggest and newest fleets of A-Star helicopters. These million-dollar babies are the best for air touring. Both companies provide in-cabin camera viewing and a free videotape of your tour. As you can see, Maui has a lot to offer. Beautiful sights, outstanding restaurants, and exciting activities. I hope the information that we've provided you will help you with your vacation plans. On behalf of the Paradise Television Network, aloha.